The story takes place 4 years after Busan. Now Busan has also fallen, and the entire country of Korea is in complete chaos and disorder because of the zombie virus. Our main character, Jeong Seok, is a soldier. On this particular day, he is driving his sister's family to the last cruise ship departing from the city. Along the way, a woman with a child asks Jeong Seok for a ride, but he ruthlessly declines. They reach the pier, and Jeong helps his family board the cruise ship. The ship is supposed to go to Japan for safety, but a soldier informs Jeong Seok that the ship has suddenly changed course to Hong Kong. Jeong Seok confronts the captain to ask why, but the captain scolds him and orders him to obey. Inside the cabin, there is a man who is behaving strangely, clearly infected by the zombie virus. When Jeong Seok returns to the cabin, he finds blood everywhere. After dealing with the zombies, he reaches his sister's location. The people there have been bitten by zombies, including Jeong Seok's little nephew. His sister embraces her son anxiously, terrified, and unable to speak. At this point, the infected individuals don't immediately turn into zombies. Jeong Seok tries to persuade his sister to escape, but she refuses to abandon her son. Suddenly, the bitten man on the ground transforms into a zombie and attacks Jeong Seok. Jeong Seok runs out of bullets and manages to escape by locking the cabin door. Just then, his brother-in-law, Chulmin, returns. The two of them watch in agony as a horde of zombies swarms Jeong's sister. The story fast-forwards 4 years. Jeong Seok and Chulmin have fled to Hong Kong on a cruise ship, but their lives are filled with guilt over the death of Jeong's sister. Jeong Seok lives in constant pain. Chulmin blames him for not doing enough to save his sister, and they are disliked by the locals. A gangster approaches Jeong Seok with an offer. They want him to return to Korea and retrieve money from a truck. Now that Korea has become a zombie-infested wasteland, the zombies have no interest in money. The gangster has devised a plan for his men to collect a truckload of dollars, worth 20 million from Korea. However, when they return, they are ambushed by zombies and killed. Jeong Seok is promised half of the money if he can retrieve it. He agrees without hesitation, and Chulmin and 3 others join him. Soon, Jeong Seok and his group board a boat provided by the gangsters. They are given weapons and satellite phones and are taken ashore in a rubber boat. The ship will wait for them while they search for the truck. The place is eerily silent, with crumbling buildings and no signs of life. They find a car with the keys still inside and drive off. The woman driving the car used to be a cab driver before the zombie outbreak. Suddenly, they spot a truck. Jeong gets out to investigate, but realizes it's not the one they were looking for based on the license plate. In a corner, they hear a strange noise. With no fear of death, Jeong Seok approaches to investigate, using the night vision scope of his rifle. He is terrified to see hungry zombies staring back at him. The group continues their search and eventually finds the truck hidden under an overpass. Someone in the shadows is watching them through binoculars. Chulmin opens the truck to find it filled with dollars. However, when they go to the driver's side, they discover a dead driver sitting inside the cab. Chulmin tries to remove the driver from the car, but the dead man suddenly opens his eyes and tries to bite Chulmin. In the struggle, Chulmin accidentally honks the truck's horn. Jeong Seok finally manages to shoot and kill the driver. The sound of the horn attracts a large horde of zombies who rush towards them. These zombies are blind at night, but have heightened hearing. Jeong Seok starts shooting with his rifle, but the number of zombies is overwhelming. He climbs into the truck to get away from them temporarily, and both vehicles continue driving on the road. Huisu, one of the group members, starts dreaming of becoming rich. Not far from the car, someone fires a flare, blinding them in the darkness. The zombies spot the fire and rush towards it. In their attempt to escape, they find the road blocked by an army of zombies. The woman driving the car loses control and crashes into some lockers. The truck following behind them fails to brake and collides with the car. Jeong Seok is thrown from the truck due to the impact, and the woman dies. The other 3 members of the group are injured, and the zombies continue to approach. Chulmin quickly hides inside the truck, while Jeong Seok starts running away. On his journey, Jeong Seok encounters a girl named June. She joins him in the car and effortlessly dispatches the zombies they encounter. In the passenger seat, there is a young girl. June skillfully maneuvers the car through the zombies, using them as obstacles. The constant swerving and shaking make Jeong Seok feel sick, and he eventually passes out. They reach an underpass where a large group of zombies block the road. To their surprise, the girl takes out a remote control car that emits light and music. She drives the car towards the zombies, attracting their attention. The zombies pounce on the remote control car, allowing the group to bypass them. Once the zombies are distracted, they quickly get back in the car and drive away, crashing into a few scattered zombies along the way. Meanwhile, Chulmin remains surrounded by zombies near the truck with no sign of leaving. Suddenly, an extravagant advertising card drives by, catching the attention of the zombies and diverting their focus. Several armored vehicles appear, and a group of people emerges from the cars. However, they don't appear to be good people. The infected man who had asked for their help earlier approaches them, but the group's leader kills him without hesitation. They take over the truck and leave, unaware of Chulmin's presence inside. Jong-seok regains consciousness and is approached by an old man who turns out to be Jun's grandfather. At the same time, a woman named Min-jung approaches Jong-seok. He recognizes her as the woman who had asked for their help on the road. She and her daughter have managed to survive in the post-apocalyptic world. They bring Jong-seok to the old man, who has a radio and has been sending distress signals for help. Chulmin, on the other hand, is taken to a camp called Unit 631. This group used to be a regular military unit, but they became isolated on an island after the zombie outbreak. Left with no other options, they became zombie hunters, building defenses and scavenging resources from the zombies to survive. However, these people have turned to evil and are worse than the zombies. This is the same camp that Min-jung's family escaped from. Chulmin is stripped of his clothes, painted with numbers, and placed in a container with other naked individuals. They remain silent and motionless. Eventually, the container door opens and they are released. In front of them is a coliseum-like arena where crowds of people watch, cheer, and place bets. The countdown begins, and a horde of zombies is released into the arena to chase the living. Many people are killed by the zombies, and Chulmin barely manages to survive. Back in the container, the guards throw them a few packs of instant noodles, which they quickly consume. The leader of this territory is Captain Seo, the man Jong-seok encounters later on. Captain Seo is tired of this life and contemplates suicide. However, when one of his men brings him a bottle of foreign wine, his desire to live is reignited. Through his conversation with the man, Captain Seo learns about the truck and finds a satellite phone inside it. As he plays with the phone, it unexpectedly rings. The call is from the people on the ship who are waiting for Jong-seok. They inform Captain Seo that whoever delivers the money will be allowed to leave and receive the same reward. Eager to escape, Captain Seo agrees to their terms. Jong-seok believes that Chulmin has been killed. They plan to take the truck under the cover of darkness and drive it to the port where the ship awaits. When Jong-seok wakes up from a nap, it is already dusk. They gather their belongings, grab weapons, and set off. Their plan is to infiltrate the camp and steal the truck. They instruct Jun to wait for them in the car. They navigate through a secret passage and reach the main camp of Unit 631, the same place they escaped from before. After incapacitating one of the guards, they spot the truck. Captain Seo arrives at the Coliseum and addresses the crowd through a loudspeaker, inviting them to enjoy the evening's events. He plans to use this distraction to lure people to the Coliseum. Meanwhile, he intends to escape quietly in his own truck. However, Sergeant Kim becomes suspicious and waits for Captain Seo in his room. When Captain Seo returns, Sergeant Kim finds nothing unusual, assuming that Captain Seo is simply meeting with someone he likes. Sergeant Kim leaves the room, unaware of the satellite phone hidden by Captain Seo. Jong-seok and Min-jung reach the truck and prepare to drive away. However, Captain Seo's men also arrive at the scene. Min-jung hides in the cab and points a gun at Captain Seo. Two guards see Captain Seo and ask why he isn't at the show. He comes up with a random excuse to avoid suspicion. The guards then inform him about the brave man who performed in the Coliseum. Learning that Chulmin is still alive, Jong-seok rushes to save him. After Jong-seok leaves, Captain Seo approaches Min-jung. They seem to know each other, but Captain Seo suddenly pulls out a gun and shoots at Min-jung. In a desperate move, Min-jung reverses the truck, knocking Captain Seo to the ground. They find a satellite phone on his body. Chulmin continues to face the zombies in the Coliseum. Just as a zombie lunges at him, someone kills the zombie. Jong-seok arrives. Jong-seok then throws a smoke bomb to create a diversion and rescues Chulmin. As they make their escape, they encounter soldiers who attempt to stop them. The soldiers open fire at Jong-seok, who takes cover. In the chaos, a zombie leaps at Jong-seok, but Chulmin picks up a rifle and shoots wildly at the approaching soldier. He then throws the gun to Jong-seok, who finishes off the zombie. Unbeknownst to them, Sergeant Kim, who had been hiding, aims his gun at Chulmin. Chulmin is killed, but before Sergeant Kim can shoot Jong-seok, Min-jung arrives in the truck. Jong-seok escapes in the truck, leaving Captain Seo helplessly watching as they drive away. Sergeant Kim and his men appeared. Jong's truck was surrounded by a large group of zombies. putting them in danger of being attacked. Just then, June drove her car and used a bright light to attract the zombies, allowing Jung's truck to move forward. Min-jung also maneuvered her truck through the zombies, and the old man in the truck set off fireworks to distract the zombies. Both vehicles headed towards the port. As Sergeant Kim's convoy caught up with them, they fired flares into the sky to divert the zombies' attention. Jung Seok found himself surrounded and drove his car under an overpass. He fired at the glass, but the zombies managed to break through. Sergeant Kim's car crashed into a group of zombies as it failed to stop, leaving him overwhelmed. After dealing with Sergeant Kim, Jung Seok used the satellite phone to contact the ship at the port. Upon reaching the ship, Captain Seo rammed his car into June's car and took her hostage. However, the little girl operated the remote control car, causing it to collide with Captain Seo and allowing Min-jung to fight back. In the chaos, Captain Seo fled in a truck. As he drove the truck onto the boat, Captain Seo was met by the gangsters, who pretended to welcome him but ultimately killed him. It was their plan to eliminate anyone in the truck. With his last breath, Captain Seo caused the truck to slip out of the cabin and become stuck in the door panel. A horde of zombies approached the ship, and the injured old man was close to death. Suddenly, the sound of a helicopter drew their attention, and the little girl launched fireworks to attract the helicopter. Jung Seok ran towards the helicopter with the little girl in his arms, but the overwhelming number of zombies made their escape difficult. Min-jung, inside the truck, contemplated suicide to avoid being a burden. However, when she heard gunshots, she decided to fight for survival and fired at the zombies. Jung Seok joined her, using smoke bombs to create a diversion. Eventually, they emerged from the smoke and escaped in a helicopter, bringing the story to an end. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.